I somewhat hesitate to make opinions known because I've often been accused of inaudibility and not being able to be heard. Can you all hear me? Yes. Well, then I am comforted. Ladies, daughters of our American Revolution, gentlemen, the home guard of our Commonwealth, let alone our nation, esteemed supporters of our Poplar forest, and indeed, Your Honor. But most importantly, if you will allow our new citizens of our nation, welcome. Welcome here to my retreat house. I realize that at this time we meet, there's a similar ceremony at my other dwelling. I have chosen to be here. I choose to be here twice a year in order to recognize the greatest blessing that we have as Americans, and that is the opportunity to become the more American every day. To continue to welcome those across the globe to seek an asylum, because as I have written many years ago, shall oppressed humanity find no asylum on this globe. Well, new citizens, rest you assured, everyone else here has had that same opportunity through the present, let alone their families generations ago. And what makes this the more delightful for me upon this occasion is, well, very simply, who could enjoy a more delightful birthday than this? Those who are gathering at my other house may have the opportunity to venture down to where it is said, I repose for all eternity. And they will see a curiosity, because I desired to be cut upon my tombstone that I was born April the 2nd, 1743, O.S. Now rest you assured, I understand that many have been gazing upon that with curiosity, wondering what O.S. means. Well, when I was young, everybody knew what O.S. meant, because it meant the old-style calendar. That we were born or married or shed our mortal coil under that calendar commissioned by Julius Caesar many thousands of years ago, even though a modern calendar had been commissioned by Pope Gregory the 13th, then in the early 16th century. He had hired advanced astronomers and mathematicians to recalculate how long it takes the Earth to revolve around the sun, and came up with the recognition that Caesar's calendar was off by 11 days. It was decided by Pope Gregory. They affixed the first day of the year, not during the vernal equinox, which Caesar had established, that time about the 21st of March, or as he was to later hear, the Ides of March. Pope Gregory decided, no, let us establish the beginning of the year at that time of the winter solstice, with the least amount of light and yet the greatest hope that the days would grow longer. Indeed, Pope Gregory's calendar was a calendar of great hope for further precision in mathematical calculation and further attentions to the marvels of astronomy and the universe beyond us. And so it is in 1752, when I was 9 years old, Great Britain finally, after nearly 150 years, accepted Pope Gregory's calendar. And so we have abided ever since, which delights me, because I can enjoy 2 birthdays every April, on the 2nd and the 15th. But now you will know, if you ever go to accompany another to where I repose, that when they may say, what does O.S. mean? You may readily answer with great pride, I heard it from Mr. Jefferson himself. It means the old style. But citizens, rest you assured, nothing could provide a greater hope for our future as a nation than you all seated here today receiving that great honor as a citizen of our country. I know well we are the first nation in the history of man founded upon principle, not upon monarchy or royalty or landed gentry. Principles inherent in the laws of nature, nature's God, the principle of self-government. I cannot help but think that I stand before you all here today merely as a public servant. You all are the ones who hold the reins of our government. A citizen is the most important office in our nation. Without it, not a single individual in our government may be elected or have the opportunity thereby to appoint another to our government. So welcome, indeed, the future of our nation, indeed those who are responsible for our government, and the great hope that you all provide now for generations yet unborn. When I was reminded that celebrating my birthday under Pope Gregory's calendar would mean it would come about this year on Friday the 13th, I immediately answered, lest we forget, we founded a university here in Virginia to dispel superstition. And when many have asked me, Mr. Jefferson, we celebrate on this day your 275th birthday. Well, mercy, what has preserved you all these years? And I reply merely, enlightenment. The enlightenment of the human mind. To realize that as the new citizens of our nation, you fulfill a legacy generation after generation to continue to protect and defend that greatest vehicle of liberty, freedom, and happiness any individual possesses, your own mind. Not a soul can take it away from you. And what a delightful element of good common sense. Because as I have written, it takes just as much energy to be happy as it does to be miserable. This is the reason why in our Declaration of American Independence, I altered Mr. Locke's statement from pursuit of property, which is an inherent right, but lest we forget the first and foremost property is ourselves, our mind, our right to ourselves. I altered it that it might be more readily comprehended in the diversity of our population, our greatest strength, to read life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Here is that great opportunity for you all as we have thus far benefited in our generations. Here's the opportunity for your children and your children's children. And here is the opportunity for your families and your peoples that you have left behind in your birth nations. I was told that our Declaration of American Independence during my time saw the formation of two new political economies based on our principles. The first in my time a province known as Flanders, there in the midst of the ancient kingdoms of Europe. The other, the more profound, in 1804, Haiti. It is said in your time that there are now over 250 political economies worldwide founded on the principles of our Declaration of American Independence. This is truly what we wrote 2 centuries ago. Our nation will become a beacon light for the rest of the world. And imagine that light is now in your hands, that you might hold proudly to influence your families where they still live, your friends back in the nation you came from. Help them understand that they themselves may experience a greater hope in their lifetimes. What a marvelous occasion this is as the torch of liberty has been handed to you this day, to raising your right hand and receiving, if you will, that oath from our esteemed judge here today. I could not be in a more happy company, a more honored company than you all. And therefore I thank you, I welcome you to continue to preserve our liberties given to us not by any government and not by any leader, but rather given to us by nature and nature's God. That you all might come to understand, as we well know here, citizens of our nation, that freedom is not free. It requires an eternal vigilance. I'm blessed to be in your company. I welcome to receive you as you care to have portraits painted in my company as well. I welcome you to the birthday cake that is offered to all of us later. And rest you assured I ever remain your humble and obedient servant, Thomas Jefferson. Godspeed.